Hey, hello, this is Professor Todd Elliott, and today we're going to look at the basic setup of the UTG932 arbitrary function generator. This particular unit has a bandwidth of 60 megahertz, and there is a 30 megahertz version available, and as far as I know, they're exactly the same, except for the difference in bandwidth, both of which are plenty capable. So you'll see on the front screen we have the display screen here, and then on the bottom we have a series of buttons which allows us to set and adjust the various functionality. We have mode, and mode cycles through various options, including AM modulation and FM. So these are quite capable, but for right now, we'll just leave it in the just the normal high Z state. Anyway, the wave button here allows you to select on the bottom a sine wave or a square wave or a pulse or ramp or arbitrary or whatever you want. So really it's amazing what these things do. I'll leave it at sine for now. And over here we have like a multi-function knob that rotates left and right to move through the menus, and then you can click on it to select the parameter you want to adjust, and then we have right and left controls. These little neat keypad here allows you to type in the numbers directly, or you can just turn the adjustment knob and set them digits individually, whichever you like. Over here we have a channel 1. These do have 2 channels. You have to push it to sort of enable or turn it on. So right now both channels are off. That's channel 1 on, and then channel 2, and you can see how it's color coded. Okay, so I would just leave channel 1 on and channel 2 off. On the end here, this top port is the sync output. This one is channel 1 and channel 2, and it's just your standard 50 ohm BNC style connector. Oh, and then the little power switch. It's got a USB port, I think, for saving things, or connected to your computer. I'm not really sure. Anyway, so let's go, and we're going to go to wave. We'll start with a sine wave. And we want to set the frequency. So now you notice the option here is frequency, amplitude. There's an offset, and right now I have an offset input, and you can see here it shows you a picture of what the wave is look like. You can see it's got the offset there. So let me just get rid of that. I'm going to set that to 0. Then you set the unit, boom, and you see the 0 center line is now where you would expect it. So let's set the frequency to 10 kilohertz. So we're going to then use the rotating multifunction knob, and we're going to enter 10, and then it gives the unit, and then kilohertz. Okay, and then we're going to set this to 1 volt peak to peak. So we can go 1. Oh, select it. Then 1, and then 1, and then volt peak to peak, and you have millivolts peak to peak, RMS, VRMS. So just you select the magnitude, and then the the unit. 1 volt peak to peak, and we don't want to offset, and we don't want to initiate any phase displacement. So with 2 outputs, you can offset them by any number of degrees that you want, which is really kind of cool. Okay, so that's for a sine wave. Let's just change that, and let's just, again, we're going to go frequency. Let's set it to 25 kilohertz. So we're going to go 25 kilohertz, And this time I want it to 3 volts peak to peak. So we're going to turn this knob. Oops, sorry. Hit amplitude. And instead of typing the keypad like we did before, I'm just going to go like that. And I'm going to then rotate that number up there to put it to 3. Point. And then select. Oops. I much prefer the keypad way, but you may not. Oops. So 3.5 volts peak to peak. And okay, I'll select that, and then away we go. Okay, let's change this to a square wave. I'm going to go square, like that. And then we're going to adjust the frequency. Let's make it 5 kilohertz. So go 5, and then kilohertz. And then the amplitude, let's say it's for TTL. So let's make that 5 volts peak to peak, and we're going to have to supply I can think an offset now if we want TTL. So if we do that, okay, and I believe that's correct, but I didn't have to hook up on the scope to be sure, but I didn't play with the offset too much. But anyway, so let's do a different setting. Let's go frequency, and let's do it, I don't know, say 700 then hertz. Then we want it at, I don't know, 500 millivolts peak to peak. Okay, and there, I always get confused between the two. And yep, so that's that. And then the duty cycle, which is the ratio between the sort of the high time and the period. And then by default you want it 50, and you can see as you change that percentage, it changes the waveform illustration, which again is kind of neat. Okay, and then we're going to go there, and then we're going to go to the ramp, which is like triangle, and let's set that to frequency. Let's set it to 1 kilohertz, like there, and then we want to go 2 volts. I'll just make it RMS this time to make it something different. Okay, now don't forget, in order to get the output to the BNC lead here, you need to actually enable or turn it on. And these things are, I don't know the specs, I know they are short circuit protected. If you do short the output, it will give you a warning. It will just disable the output, which is kind of neat. So I wouldn't test that to see how rugged it is, but it does have some protection, which is always really good. Now if you want to go to channel 2, just turn channel 2, and then you have all the same functionality. So you can use 1 channel or 2. Most time you probably just use 1, and just turn it on and off. This utility here, let's see what it does. It does, you can invert the output. You can change the, those are options does it have. That's pretty much it. And it's got some other range of settings that are available. So by no means have I explored it all, but anyway, yeah. So just make sure that you're on just the basic output and don't have AM turned on or something like that. But anyway, I hope this has been beneficial and will make it easier for you to start using the thing next time you're in the lab. All right, cheers, bye.